All right. Excuse me. It's easy to do the arpeggios in a staircase manner. So I start here, going up a major third, up a minor third, up a perfect fourth. Now I want to do another major third, but it's going to warp over, so it's straight up, and then over a minor third. But what if I want to keep that in the same cage? We've got the same problem that we had with the two pattern stacks. For instance, say you're in the key of G. Alright? And you want to do a G pentatonic. If you put a capo right here, and you were playing that G like that, you're not going to be able to do the pentatonic, because the pentatonic goes below that capo. You know, you'd have to do the long pattern that I have, the S3XL, starting from the G. Okay, but if I consider this root, it would be root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root. Alright? The same thing applies with doing the arpeggios. So if I'm doing an arpeggio in G, so it would be like that, but it's going that away. Alright? What if I had a capo there? And this is where it gets important to want to do the arpeggio in the box. So there's two ways to do that. Okay? I don't know if I have the G one mapped out, but you can use the toolbox. So say if we're going to do a G, let's imagine this is our toolbox. It's just stacked up. Okay, the G is going to let's say start on the 5, 6 here. So here's where our G is going to start. Right? We can't get to the 7. We can't get to the 3. But we're looking at our toolbox here. We're going to try and do it that way, and we can't do it that way. Okay, so like I say, the arpeggio can be done from the toolbox, where you've got, it's going to be 5, 7, 2 is going to be the arpeggio, the triad. 5, 7, 2, 5, 7, 2, 5. Okay, and you can fit that into the toolbox, is what I was saying. I think we're digressing a little bit, but we'll get there. 2 steps forward, 1 step back, right? So you fit that in there. So it'd be the 5, the 7 will take you over here, 5, 7. Now stack that 3, 5 on top of that, so it's 5, 7, and then we're going to get that 3. So we're going to want to probably do a minor third to get that 3. Let's see how that works. We've got the 5, the 7. We want to go straight up for that 3. Okay. I didn't see it there. It's not the E. It's the 2. It's the D. Sorry, it's not the 3. We want the 2. Sorry, that would have been like a nice E minor first inversion. So 5 to the 7. How are we going to get to the 2? It's not in that. It's not in this pattern stack. You see what I'm saying? We'd have to do it from like over here, and it could be done from the C shape, looking at it that way. This 5 to 7. All right. Instead of the 5, 7 that's in the S3L, we're taking the 5, 7 that's in the S2L, and then we go over to the 2. So the thing's going to play like, you know. How do we get out of... We just select those. You see how important it is to select the right notes. They are contained within that pentatonic scale. We're not even dealing with 4s and 7s anymore. It's just 3, 5, 6, 2. It's no play 5, Nope, no play 3, play the 5. No play 6, play the root, play the 2. Something like that. That's the one method, but it's a lot easier just to do it by intervals. Alright, so this is the one method. Okay, we're back. So let's zoom out and realize you can fit, there's a rule, and it is that any arpeggio that you're playing within a cage, that's the C cage, the A cage, the G cage, the E cage, or the D cage. Below the C cage is what? Another D cage. On my guitar, right? Any cage that you play an arpeggio in, you can fit that arpeggio into a pentatonic scale. The pentatonic scale, that is that cage, pentatonic scale. And you can do it that way. Find the numbers on the chart in the toolbox. Alright, so for an Aeolian, which is the blue, 6R3, you just find the, you just have to start on a 3 here. You go 3 to 6. Okay, you have to find the numbers. And this is the problem we're running into. There's a 3, but 6 doesn't go to 3. 6 goes to root. So how are we going to play it? It should be able to be played. Okay, so 6 goes to root. It's not going to go to the next string. It has to go on that same string. That minor third from 6 to 3 has to be played on the same string. Alright, and I'm inclined to want to play this, but we have to move along. So this is where it actually is happening. Okay, so it's 3, 6 root. So what's 3? 3, 6 root is second inversion Aeolian A minor in key of C. So it would have to be played in the second inversion there. 3, 6 root, 3, 6 root, 3. Well, what if we wanted to play it in root and stay in that cage? What cage would that be? Okay, and that indeed is the question, and that is what we're going to be working on today. Is I have to get along because my wife's going to be home pretty soon, and then I'm gonna get sidetracked. So I'm going to move to today's chart. There's a lot to cover here, a lot to cover, but I can zoom right in and show you that if you wanted to play the Aeolian 6th, starting from its relative 5th, which would be E, second inversion, E would be the 3rd. What I would do if I was when I was mapping this out, there's a little fly in here, is I would find the 3rd here. There's the 3rd. But if we wanted to do it from root is what we wanted, right? Remember we wanted to do it from root? So I would like go along the cage minors here. These are the 6th minors here. Don't worry about that word minor, but this happens to be right lined up with it. It would be the root here, so it would be the E shape. The E shape cage box will give us our Aeolian 6th root arpeggio. So here's the E shape way up here for the key of C. Alright, so there's the root. Oh, wait a minute, we wanted the root of Aeolian. We have to start on the 6th. Alright, so it's going to be the next one over. That's okay. So this is the G box. G always starts on the 6th. Alright, so we're right here. We're right here in the middle of nowhere, right? In the middle of cage land here. It's going to be the E minor shape, 6 minor, 6R3 in the E box. Now, how do we know it's the E box? Because the G box, good thing we got reminded, it's the G box, G root, because the root is in the G chord position. Okay, so in the key